Welcome to the Dork Forest. Jackie and her pals will never bore us. Shameless confessions
about our obsession
will make us laugh and smile. So let's explore the Dork Forest and dork out for a while.
Hello and welcome to the Dork Forest. Jackie Cation here. Hey, I was going to take December off, but I think we all need to hear dorkdoms. So we're just going to keep going. We're just going to keep going, bringing people what they like, and have people talk about what they enjoy, and be positive like that. So you might know the websites because I'm Jackie Cation. JackieCation.com, DorkForest.com, TheDorkForest.com. You can go to the DorkForest.bandcamp.com and get premium episodes. There's probably a dozen of them now, and there's some free stuff there. But the premium episodes are $2 each. They're live episodes I've done in the last year to defray the cost of live episodes. So there's always free ones every week, but Bandcamp has some premium episodes that are in front of live audiences and are super fun. Let's do the credits. Mike Rickberg just sang and composed the song you just heard, sang it with his wife, Sarah Cohen. He will sing his words to the Mexican hat dance at the end of the program. Vilmos fixes my website, JackieCation.com, and Patrick Brady's going to fix this audio. The website is redone by Vilmos, so that's exciting. It looks better on your phone. So, but it's got everything you might want. It's got all the merch that you might ever want. You want a Dork Forest t-shirt or a Dork Forest hoodie. I'm out of sizes, so if you order a hoodie that will be back ordered probably, email me, Jackie@JackieCation.com, and I'll let you in on what ones I have sitting around. Otherwise, it'll be a second because I just have to wait till I order new Dork Forest t-shirts. There are in stock Dork Forest t-shirts, Ranger of the Dork Forest t-shirts, and my stand-up t-shirt, Spooky Reading Girl. Those are all available. They are 100% cotton, U.S. made by the union, because I'm willing to wear clothing made by toddlers, not willing to sell clothing made by toddlers. Let's do this. And other than that, there is CDs and DVDs. My CDs are all available on Pandora and Spotify to listen to for free. You can buy them on Amazon and iTunes as downloadables, and you can get hard copies from me. You'd also get hard copies from Comedy Film Nerds, but you can buy them directly from me or from them. And you can rip them and give them to everybody you want. You can use it as a coaster. I will sign it if you want, but you got to give me a note that says, please sign this. Also, my DVD, which is This Will Make an Excellent Horcrux. It is both a CD and a DVD. They're two different sets. The DVD is a longer set that I did earlier the same week, and it's available as a DVD or as a downloadable video streaming thing from comedyfilmnerds.com, from their downloadable area. What else? Oh, support the show. To support the show, I usually ask that you donate, but not in November and December. In November and December, I ask that you, instead of donating to the Dork Forest, you find a local food bank. Find a local food bank. Donate to them. They're good people. Everyone can use the sandwich right around now. And so if the $5, $20, or $100 that you were going to donate to the Dork Forest, send it to your local food bank. You can go to feedingamerica.org and put your zip code in, or you can just Google the name of your town and the words food bank, and that will come up anywhere in the world, I bet. So if you've sent me money this month, know in your heart that I have sent it off to the food bank in my hometown from South Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where we used to get food when I was very little, and we were on welfare, and we'd go to the food bank. And so I thank you for your donations. In November, we sent the South Milwaukee Food Bank a couple $100. So thanks a lot for that. But if you do still want to support the show, you can get merch like I was talking about, or you can use the Amazon banner. Holidays are coming, so you can order from Amazon by going through the portal on JackieCation.com. There's a tiny icon on the front page. If you go to the support the page, there's a little banner, Amazon banner. You go directly to Amazon using that banner. It doesn't cost you extra, but the Dork Forest gets a little bit of a kickback. That's a way to support the show. The other thing that's at JackieCation.com is my schedule. You can come and see me do stand-up comedy. This week, I am all over San Francisco, the Bay Area, and Northern California. Go to JackieCation.com, go to the tour schedule, take a look around. If you live in the Bay Area, I will be there. And then at the end of it all, I'm opening for Maria Bamford on the Saturday. Let's get into the dorkdom upcoming. Hey, it's Jackie Cation. I'm in my living room in Van Nuys Boulevard. Van Nuys Boulevard? Who cares? Go see the movie Van Nuys Boulevard. It's a movie from the 70s that is hilarious. Actually, don't.
Is it actually?
It's an actual movie. I bought it off of Amazon with 49 other shit movies from the 70s. It was $7 for all 50 of them. And
oh my God.
Here's the good news. You could watch the clip from Van Nuys Boulevard, the trailer on YouTube, and it would be as good, if not better. If not better than the actual film. Jenny Zigrino in my living room.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Sorry, I was about to burp from this Diet Coke.
Oh, right. You're having a Diet Coke. I got you an
All right,
extra.
got it.
Got you an extra cup of
So
water
many
there.
fluids going in right
A
now.
lot of liquids. Adds Jenny Zigrino, by the way, and jennyzigrino.com, and all the Jenny Zigrinos in the world belong to Jenny Zigrino.
My cousin is Jennifer, and she married into the Zigrino name. So she is Jennifer Zigrino.
So
there
with
are imposters.
The nickname Jenny Zigrino. Zigrino. You know it. Stand-up comic. Saw you, I think the first time when I remembered, because that's where my brain is.
That's okay. I get it. I get it now.
You get it?
You know, I get it. Do you want to know the first time that I saw you? You probably don't remember it.
No.
It was the Women in Comedy Festival, and you were doing the workshop on one-nighters.
Oh, how to book shitty one-nighters.
How to book shitty one-nighters.
That was the first time I did that workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And then I just didn't.
Did you go to
I didn't do shit.
Did you go to the workshop?
I went to the workshop.
Okay.
So after the workshop, I was like so inspired. I was like, I'm going to get all the one-nighters I can. I'm going to take over this town. And then I just didn't do anything.
And you didn't do any of that.
Nope.
Interesting life choice. But it all worked out
all
anyway,
worked
because
out.
you're living here now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So
you
it
do the
worked
road,
out.
right?
I do the road, yeah. I'm going back I'll be in Edmonton.
Oh, that's in Canada, right?
Yeah, in 2 weeks. And then I just got done. I've pretty much been on the road almost every weekend since March.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe like a couple weekends off, but
Yeah.
I've just, So,
Holy crap.
yeah.
Hey, my oven's preheated.
Oh, sick.
The reason that beep went off is because our furnace, it was like 42 degrees here last night, and our furnace will not work if it is less than 58 degrees.
Really? So you have to heat the house up to heat
make
the house
furnace
up?
Except for that the furnace cannot be tricked. It cannot be tricked that it is 58 degrees outside. It literally, I'm having someone come look at the furnace for the third time tomorrow.
I did the oven thing yesterday.
Yeah,
It was
so
cold.
it's chilly. It's
Yeah.
chilly. When it's 42 degrees, it turns out I'm wearing a jacket. I'm wearing a sweater. It's nobody's above it. So, how long have you been? So I saw you in Austin was when you really hit my radar.
Yeah.
At Moon Tower.
Moon Tower.
Yeah. So that was really a great set.
Thank
Everybody should go
you.
find you.
It was super. That was a great show.
That was a hell of a show.
So fun.
It was a crazy ass show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that the Dope Queens hosted that? Or did they just go up? I think they might have just gone up.
One up.
Because Greg Barron hosted
Greg
it.
Barron. Yeah, Greg hosted, who I love so much, and then everyone that I like, because I had to leave. I had to leave a little bit early. I think I had to go to either another show or was that the Princess Night?
This is a great story. What
Guys,
is
look
happening?
let me tell you about my schedule after my set.
And 7 months ago.
That was the Princess weekend. That was the weekend I saw Princess, and that was a
What is Princess?
life-changing weekend for me. That
What
was
is Princess?
So that was the weekend Prince died, and then Princess, who was Maya Rudolph's Prince cover band, was scheduled to play anyways, no idea that he was gonna die. And so then they played like this amazing show, and everyone was ugly crying, and there was snot everywhere, and it was beautiful, and it was just like that weekend was life affirming and changed everything.
Excellent. I was in Minneapolis for a long time.
Yeah.
I never got
from
into. I don't care about Prince. I mean, I like him. I want to. Here's the thing. I really do want to.
Yeah.
Like when I spent, I think it was 86, the summer of 86 in Minneapolis. And then I moved there in 90. And so 86, I worked at a screen printing place, a t-shirt screen printing place that was right next to where Husker Du practiced.
Okay.
And they are a punk band that were very, very.
Husker Du fan? I gotta stop drinking Diet Coke.
Well, I actually don't know anything about Husker Du, but everybody who makes people love music. I like music, but I don't know anything about it. So I am currently listening to the Postmodern Jukebox Christmas mix.
Which is they're great.
And the Pentatonics Christmas mix. So
I know you listen to Hamilton.
Yes, Hamilton. It's been hard.
Did a mixtape come out?
I did not get into that one yet. Getting ready. My sister went and saw Hamilton in Chicago last week when I went and saw Hedwig here in Los Angeles.
Oh, how was that?
Hedwig was amazing, actually. It was production to production with theater. Mm-hmm. I don't think I ever realized it's like stand-up is like this too. Every show can be different, it turns out, especially and with theater, it's a different director.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just different actors. It's the same everything. It's the same product.
Yeah.
But it's different actors and interpretations, and then it's different directors and interpretations. So I saw it with John Michael Cameron in New York 2 years ago.
Ooh.
He's the guy who wrote it,
yeah.
right? And then I saw it with this guy, Darren Criss, who from Glee.
So Darren Criss is in this one?
Was in this one.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't a big Glee fan.
I never watched it. But
I love the concept.
But people, I like a cappella. Yeah. My sister saw it with Ali Sheedy. As Hedwig 15 years ago.
Who's Ali Sheedy?
She was in, like St. Elmo's Fire or The Breakfast Club or one of those. She was a John Hughes Brat Pack.
Oh, I'm sure if
kid.
I saw her.
Yeah, did you ever see The Breakfast Club?
That's so long ago.
Well, she played the goth kid who had lice.
Oh, yes.
Or dandruff or whatever. And whatever. That's who Ali Sheedy is.
Lice, dandruff, same thing.
It's almost the same
thing. Comes off your head.
It comes off your head. Some of it's alive, some of it's not. Hey, let's talk about me and you and stories that are fascinating. How about we talk about your dorkdom, Jenny Zigrino?
I'm just gonna...
Please.
Hamilton mixtape. Really good. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Is it available?
There's 4 tracks on Spotify right now.
Okay.
And then your mind will be blown. Boom. Okay.
My mind will be blown.
Yes.
And I will appreciate it because I need my mind blown a lot lately. So, I'll take it. Blow my mind.
I follow your Facebook. I know what's up.
You know what's up. Right. It's, and I deleted Facebook and Twitter from my phone.
Did you? I deleted the Facebook, but I still go on I can't stop myself.
Well, the thing is I can still get there.
Yeah.
I'm logged in on Safari, so all I have to do is but the interface is harder.
Yeah.
So I don't stay as long, which has actually made me slightly saner. So.
Oh, I gotta get that. I know that everything you're talking about, but okay.
So let's talk about your dorkdom. Historical costuming. Historical costuming. Not LARPing. Not cosplay.
No.
Historical costume.
Do you know how angry I get when I go to a Ren Faire and I see the steampunk? Like, it's an irrational anger.
That is irrational, but I get it because all of those things are supposed to be a safe space for all the dorks of the world. But no. I get why what about SCA? Have you heard of them?
Yes.
The Society for Creative Anachronisms?
Yes.
You would fit in.
I love what they do.
Range.
I would make baskets all day.
Right.
Do whatever else they do.
Candle making. You would learn how to milk
candles.
A cow. Sure.
Oh my God, let's make wigs. Come on, let's do it.
But you were telling me, Boston? What? What do you got going on? Historical costuming. So, what is the history period?
Okay, my favorite is the 18th century.
That's 1700s for those of you at home. Kids at home.
Colonial period, American Colonial is one of my favorites. But as far as fashion goes,
yes.
I love the British colonial more than the French. So, like, the French and the British had a very different style as far as, like, their 18th century garb went. But the British had, like, more of a muted, it was very regal, while, like, in France you had the big polonaise dresses that, like, had the big hoops on the side, and then it was, like, a sack dress. So it started at the neck, and then the fabric went all the way down to the floor. That was, like, a sack.
Oh, wow.
Big old sack dress. And actually, apparently in Boston, the hip extenders are called peignets. Mm-hmm. They were banned in Boston.
Okay.
Because they were getting in the way of shit.
Right. You're like, hey, we're all trying to use the streets here.
Yeah, we're all shitting in the streets. Can you get out of the way, bitch? So that's what happened. And so that's like, I love that particular style and period. And then as it goes into the Regency period too, which is like the 1800 to 1815.
Napoleonic War, 1798 to 1815.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
So because at the time it was ruled by the Prince Regent, so you get the Regency period. But I like that
Who
style.
became King George the VII?
I think it was the fourth.
Fourth? Oh, the other way.
Fourth.
The other way. Sorry.
Something.
The one went before the V, Jackie. All right. How's that Latin coming along?
So close.
And it would have been sixth if it were the other way. So
I
who
know.
cares? Yeah.
I don't even know the Roman
George
numerals.
the Fourth.
Something about your hands. You can like check. Like,
How does a Roman centurion order 5 beers? Huh? Peace symbol. I'll take 5 beers. My stepmother used to tell that joke all the time. She was a yuck. It was a yuck a minute with her.
Oh my God. So I love that era. And so when I lived in Boston, I was Mrs. Copley on the Freedom Trail, the wife of John Singleton Copley. And I was a loyalist. So I really wanted to like stir the pot a little bit.
Right. So supporting the Brits. Supporting the Brits.
I didn't get as many tips, but in my heart, I felt better.
Oh, are people
It's not
tipping?
about money. Oh, when you do a freedom trail, you shouldn't always tip.
Oh, okay.
Always tip.
Guys.
Tip your tour
So
guide.
essentially, you were a tour guide on the Freedom Trail.
Yeah.
So pad, you would walk the Freedom Trail. How many miles is the Freedom Trail?
All together, it's about close to 3 miles. If you did like
okay, so
from
not
the
that
Common,
bad.
Yeah, from the Common to Bunker Hill. But the main one's about about a mile or so. And so I do like 1 or 2 a day, 3. But I mean, I was screaming the whole time. And I developed polyps on my throat.
Oh, there's no Mr. Microphone.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
Because it's not accurate.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
They were like,
How many
do you
people
really
go
need
on
it?
this?
I mean, if you did the 11 or 12 o'clock tour, you get easily 80 to 100 people.
Oh my God. Yes, you need it.
Yes.
Yeah, you need amplification if there's 100 people.
Yeah. So then eventually I started splitting them, but we had this one guy who was the best, rest his soul, Bob Jolly. That was his real name, Bob Jolly. And he played, I forget his character, but he was a hatter. And he had this crazy hat. And he would, he gave the most amazing, most enthralling tours. Like Boston has a grant in his name at this point because he was just such a great addition
was fascinating.
to the town. Oh, he was so fun to watch.
Did you get to go on his and see?
I learned from him.
Okay.
And then also he's the kind of guy who like he wore a 3-piece suit, tweed 3-piece suit, just like
in life.
in life.
He's the
Just
Paul
like-
F. Tompkins
Yes.
of walking the
Yes.
Freedom Trail.
So he was just so cool. So I learned from him. But before that, like I had always done Renaissance fairs. Living in Minnesota, we had a really great Renaissance fair there.
Where is the Renaissance Fair in Minnesota?
It's in Shakopee.
Oh, is it in Shakopee?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it Shakopee? Yeah, I think so. Near Burnsville. But I think they're going to close it soon because
Is it going to move to Chanhassen where the dinner theater is?
I hope so. That's its own little world right there.
That is its own little world.
I love that dinner theater.
I've never been to that dinner theater. I've always wanted to go. Always wanted to
fun.
go. Death of a Salesman. And
eating steak.
And just something. So you went to Ren Fairs like in high school and
Yeah, I used to work at them.
Oh, wow.
I worked at them.
Selling like corn or turkey legs? What were you doing?
I was a actress on the
Hired actress.
Hired actress. And
From the get-go.
Right away. I've been a working
You have been working actress since you were what, 14?
16. And
Okay.
I made, do you know how much we made?
No.
$2 an hour.
$2 an hour at the Ren Fair. Mm-hmm. I don't know that that's legal. Maybe it was period piece.
It was like, for the whole 8 weeks, you'll get a check for $400, but you're working 6 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Right.
Yeah, and you're like, I'm just here for the great times. And then at the same time,
So you had to get your own costume going when you were 16?
I had to get my own costume. I had my own costume, my own character. I was, what was my character's name? Something Destiné, which is like French for the drawer. So I would just go around and draw terrible pictures of people, caricatures of people. I'd be like, wait, stop. I need to draw you. And like we do British accents.
Right.
And it was always split because half the Ren Fair people would be like, it's fun. And the other half would be like, it sounds terrible and takes people out of the experience. Meanwhile, we have like a Lord of the Rings guild. That is like... No, not historic at all. But we had like little Frodos. And we had Gandalf, and they would run around. We had a fairy guild.
Sure.
Just, yeah, like, we can't do British accents. We have a fairy guild that just hangs out in a forest. Ugh.
I met a guy who we dated. That's a word, sort of. For like 2 weeks we did it. And he was a German immigrant from, Germany.
Yeah.
He wasn't an immigrant. He was just on walkabout, right?
Yeah.
And so he worked at the Ren Faire because they paid in cash. And, in Minnesota. And he sold corn all day long. And so for 4 days, he only ate corn and chicken and turkey legs because he would trade corn for turkey legs with the people next door. And he was like, if I never eat. And he was like, people are always asking if my accent's real. And I'm like, yes, it is. I am genuinely German. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's such a weird, it's changed so much because I went this year with my little sister. I have a 9-year-old sister.
Okay. And you went off to Shakopee.
We went into Shakopee. And,
did you guys dress?
She dressed up. I'm like retired.
Are you retired?
I just show up and I'm like, this is the way it used to be.
You have a dress from the 1890s. Well, that would not have been accurate. Yeah.
So I took her and it just
Did she make her own dress outfit?
We went to like a thrift store.
Oh, nice.
And got this cute little thing and she put on fairy wings. But it's just so different now because it has become this fucking safe space for nerds who aren't Renaissance.
As opposed to just Renaissance nerds.
It was our place. But, no, because like we have, there are people just like, there's always, I think this year there was like definitely a couple Jon Snows running around.
Oh, because of Game of Thrones?
Yeah, so it's just
people
like whatever the
enough.
medieval quote unquote, thing is of the time, they show up.
Right.
Then it's just like, for me, I see people be like, I'm a wench. And they're like in a really kind of slutty costume. And I'm like, that's just a waitress. Like, a wench is a waitress. You're just have an excuse to show your titties off.
Right.
And you see the bodice coolers that they have?
No. What's a bodice cooler?
So it's like a little cup with a little dragon on it always. And you put ice in it and you put it between your tits to keep you cool because it's so hot.
Okay.
But then it's just like, there's a dragon coming out of my boobs. So, again, not accurate.
Nobody was doing that?
No one had dragons coming out of their tits.
Nobody said, hey, what I really want, I'm gonna cool off with ice, which wasn't invented.
Yep.
And by putting it between my boobs and then just walking around. Because when you're a waitress, it's like, oh, not enough people are staring at my boobs.
Yeah, exactly.
Please, if someone could stare a little closer to what's going on up here. I'm like,
a little glass blown dragon.
Exactly. Are you going to order? Please order. Sir, if you could order. So I want to know what your costume was back in high school. How did you make it? What did you do? What was it? Was it a sack dress?
No. So
when is the Renaissance? What am I supposed to be doing? What am I I've only been to one Ren Fair.
Is the 1500. Like, generally the 1500s, you can think of Shakespeare.
Which is
Renaissance guy. Queen Elizabeth. Renaissance.
Right. The Spanish Armada.
But it also depends because the Renaissance happened at different points in Europe.
Sure.
We'll get into that later.
But in general, 1500s.
Yeah, like 13 to 15.
Okay.
Like around there. And then, for that costume, I got that one like off eBay.
Okay.
And it was just like skirts. And then I made a bodice because I was like a young seamstress at the time.
Sure. Home ec.
Yeah, exactly.
Why not?
So I made a bodice, but all the metal boning came out of the sides.
Oof.
So the whole day was just me trying to shove.
Oh, right. Put the
metal
underwire,
boning.
the underwire back in.
Yeah, back in as it's like popping out and shooting across the room. And then for the Freedom Trail is they give you a costume, but I was like, no, I want to look great. So I like special ordered this one off Etsy.
Okay.
Like this Polonaise. It had the hoops,
it had the beignet.
beignets on the side. And then the thing about the Polonaise too is how it differs from other dresses is it's got, I'm like, trying to find my words. Find your words, Jenny. Okay. So it's shorter. So you can see your ankles.
Ooh.
Which was very sexy.
Racy.
And then it had.
But I thought you liked the British one better than the French one. You like the French one better than the colonial days.
They both used that style.
Okay.
Of the Polonaise. That was just like the name of it.
Okay.
But so the more Rococo French style is like very flowery, like a lot of trimming.
Embroidery and stuff like that?
And if you look at, I think Marie Antoinette's wedding dress is like 5 foot wide hips.
But that's not every day.
I mean, she was the queen.
She was the queen.
It was probably
Those
every
were
day.
probably child rearing.
Exactly.
And not just childbearing.
That's where she hid her children. Just like kept them inside.
Right, like Christmas present.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then, so you had like the ankles showing, and then you would have kind of that classic where it's like draped. So you had like ties on the inside of the dress that would tie up, so you could lift it up for like a drape effect. So that's like kind of a nice polonaise. Well, like the sack dress wouldn't really have that draping. It would just have the sack in the back, and then just go over like
the hoops?
flat. Yeah, like very flat. So there's no drapery really in the front.
So from the back, the drape dress, does it just look boxy? Or is it cut to fit the...
It's cut to fit. So
okay, so it is sort of hourglassy and pretty.
I mean, yeah.
But less so than the French?
Yeah, I mean, the one that I wore, it's more hourglassy because it wasn't the huge panniers and it had like the nice drape. And then but the stays that women wore then were much like a Victorian bodice or corset. We think very like hourglassy,
right?
Curvy. It goes over the hips, whatever. The stays of the 18th century were very flat, like flat.
Oh, they were trying to make you sort of like a boy.
It was kind of squarish. Like it's still because it usually went to your waist,
okay,
and then down. While like the Victorian ones can go to like the hips.
Oh, right.
So these went to the waist and then were very like, not like cinching like a Victorian bodice would be where you're like, can't breathe. It's tight, but it's like, it's very, it's flat against your chest.
Okay.
And just very like more kind of boxy is the way to kind of
just to sort of show the dress off more than the person inside of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It was more about the dress while like as you move forward, you kind of you go from like, it's so funny. It's like, because you can tell, what I love about fashion is you can tell what's going on in the culture at the time, depending on the fashion.
Right.
So like, you have the 18th century, the very opulent Rococo. Things are going really well in France. It's great. Then you get to like the Revolution. Hey,
guess you forgot to unplug the phone.
It's okay.
Oh my God. It isn't okay. It's the worst.
Well, I'm surprised you still have a landline.
So you could tell about the politics of the time from the clothes. So things are going well. The revolution, which revolution? 78? The first one? 98?
In France?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the
French Revolution.
Yeah, the French Revolution. Whenever that was, the 1780s, 90s.
Yeah.
Your fashion becomes a lot less restricted. You can see in the women's clothing, like muslin, it becomes very popular, very more loose fitting clothing. Muslin is like a really, it's like a cotton that's like very kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like
is it stiffer?
It depends. So like muslin you would make a dress form out of. Like if you're about to make a dress and you want to see it put together, you'd make a muslin cutout. That's going to be much cheap kind of just whatever cotton.
Right.
The muslin they're using is a much more soft, drapey, flowy fabric. And so, you're going from the early mid 1700s, which is very restrictive. Women are locked in.
Brocades.
It's very like, to now this kind of like, this freedom. Women aren't wearing the same type of underwear. Their clothes are much more free. They have a lot more movement going on in their clothing. So, and I always find that interesting to see, like, and if you notice too, like, even in modern times, when a country is at war, like, army fatigues come into fashion.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So, like, that becomes
start hiding. Camo,
yeah, gotta hide, gotta get out. Don't let them see you.
Right. Desert camo. You live in Shakopee. You're good.
That's where they're going. All right, they're going to Shakopee. They're going to go to Mystic Lake, and they're going to take all the buffet. That's where ISIS is going.
That's where ISIS. Put something on black, just for me, guys. All right, if you're thinking.
So it's and then with your kind of classic Renaissance guy has like the holes in his sleeves kind of look. That comes from when during battle, like they would cut the holes in their sleeves and take this is what I heard, they would take the enemy flag and like put it through the holes. Oh, okay. So that came into fashion. So it's like, fashion's always a good reflection. I hate modern day fashion.
Because it's just accumulation of absolutely everything behind.
It's
and nothing really very specific. You know? It's sort of like modern music.
Yeah, exactly.
It's we're done. We're like, no, I'm not going to make up anything new right now. We're just going to sort of pull something from that age and smash it all together, and
well, it's all
you'll
computers
like it.
now. Mm-hmm. So we have to fit. What's next after computers? That's going to make.
Are we going to dress like computers?
I mean, we kind of are. Like, if you look, like some fashion is just like, it's so minimalist now, and almost apocalyptic in some fashion. Like, this very minimalist, but it's also kind of dirty, like a lot of zippers and like shit hanging off.
Right.
Like shit's not right with anybody. So let's have clothes where we're like, it could be the end. So that's what I see now going on. And then
what's your favorite age that you've dressed as?
If I could just dress as anything for comfort reasons, because let's say I'm not wearing restrictive underwear, I'm just gonna do my thing.
Please do.
I'm just gonna do my thing. I would love to do 40s. I love the 40s silhouette.
Okay.
And it's all it's about the silhouette. Like, what's the silhouette at the time? Now there's not, it's so different how many silhouettes, but you look at a Victorian silhouette, you're like, hourglass, got it. 50s, hourglass, got it. 60s, box. You know, you can see what the silhouette of the female body was then. Mm-hmm. And also, I don't know shit about male fashion. Fuck them. I only know female
We'll get
fashion.
somebody else. We'll get somebody else.
Get some other dickhead.
We'll get some other dork to talk about male fashion. And,
I know.
Somebody email me, Jackie@JackieCation.com.
But you can ask, the silhouette is super important as to what kind of guides the fashion. I think I would love 40s and then 70s too, but the 40s kind of came back in the 70s.
Okay, so 40s was what though? I mean,
40s
it
was like wartime.
It was
shorter
mid-calf.
skirts. It was up. It was
above the knee?
It was knee or above because you had to save the fabric for the boys.
Okay.
Overseas.
It was above the knee in the 40s.
Some of it was, yeah. So, I mean, it was, then when you get to the 50s, it gets to be lower and a lot more fabric because we're out.
We're rich.
Yeah, we're rich. So you have that Chanel, just huge
Marilyn Monroe.
hourglass.
Yeah.
But I like the 40s. I love the house dresses. I think we should wear more house dresses.
The house dress that I know of, my grandmother who came here from Turkey in 1920. So her house dresses were pretty raggy. I'm going to need a better definition of a house dress. Is it like a sundress?
You could do the mom house dress, which is just kind of like a box of fabric that's colored, has a zipper, boom, you're done. But they had they wore these elegant, they were robe/house dresses for women.
Yeah.
That were floor length, kind of really in a nice rich velvet or a
velour?
Just a nice fabric, and you would wear it over your clothes, but be in the house and just
like a robe?
It's almost like a robe, but not a robe.
Fancier.
But it's a super fancy robe. And if you watch old movies, a lot of women will wear them and they're like, oh, James at the door, I have to get my house dress on. And they I'm
going to look up the word house dress and be defined.
I'm going to send you specific images to show you what I'm talking about. Otherwise, I sound crazy, and
There's a store that I recommend in Burbank called Pinup Girl, and it's got 40s.
Yes.
It's got 40 stuff. It's on that row with all the antique stuff.
Yeah.
Where things are, the prices are jacked, though. There's no, I wouldn't recommend.
I went to buy a dress off from one of those stores, and the woman, just so you guys know, a plus-size lady, if you didn't already know that, but I went in to buy clothes, and she looked at me, and she was like,
Nope.
Yeah, she literally was, I was like, can I try this on? She's like, no, that's not going to fit you. Here's this. And just brought me the ugliest moo dresses. And I was like, I get it.
You don't want me to shop here is what it is. That's the message I'm getting. Whenever I walk in, I mean, that's why I tend to wear just jeans and t-shirts and stuff. And I got a dress because we were going to a wedding. It was a 2-day wedding.
2-day wedding.
Yeah, we went to 3-day wedding. We went to 2 of the 3 days. The first day I think was just family.
Okay.
And it was, he is, I believe from India or Pakistan.
Oh, don't they have?
Yeah, they have many days, many day wedding. And we were blessedly invited to 2 of those days. And so the first day it was formal.
Yeah.
And so I went to Pinup Girl and I bought this black, amazing, I'll show it to you after. It's a black, and I bought these blue shoes. The shoes make the dress. It's like the best hood ornament for a plus size lady.
Are they from the same website?
Yeah. Well, from the same store.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're of an age, right?
Yeah.
And the black dress is nice. It's sort of a crossed bodice thing. So it wraps around. So
it's like a nice
it's booby.
Wrap.
Yes.
3/4 length?
With a 3/4 length.
Yes.
Yeah. It might actually be,
so it's like a swing dress.
yeah, it's like a swing dress.
Yeah.
It's exactly that. And then, I didn't end up liking the dress. I like the shoes more.
Yeah.
And, I want a different, I don't want to be forced to wear a very plain black dress.
Yeah.
Because of my size. I'd like there to be more choices. I'd like to take a stand, Jenny Zigrino. Hey,
Girl,
wouldn't it be great?
I got you. I can open your world to a whole world of plus size. There's this great website where you can custom make your dress.
Oh, yeah?
And put your sizes in. It's like $80, $90. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, where is it?
eShakti.com.
How do you spell that?
ESHA. I can't spell in my head.
eShock? You gonna
eShakti.
spell it?
I think it's either a K or might be a K. I think that's it. I'll find it for you.
Okay.
But, and then, so I used to, and you can still find a lot of these pictures.
ESHAKTI.com.
eShakti.com. Yeah.
And
that's a
TI.
great custom one. I'll send you a couple other ones that have like really great styles. And so
you can pick any style and they'll just make it in your size.
So they're like, oh, I want that dress. Like, oh, I love that color. I love that dress. I want it with long sleeves. And you can pick, I want that with long sleeves, or I want it with a round neck or a boat neck.
Oh,
or
interesting.
So it gives you more options.
Yeah.
And they have really nice clothes. And
the quality's good and everything?
yeah. It's also an $80 dress. So.
Yeah. So it's an $80 dress.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's what you want it to be, which
Right.
is great.
Yeah.
And so I used to sell on Etsy when I first quit stand-up. I quit stand-up.
What?
I think I did a Freudian slip.
Yeah.
I'm having some stand-up issues. When I first quit my day job to just do stand-up, I was selling plus-size vintage on Etsy.
Okay.
So I would go around to like a bunch of dead people's houses, dig through their shit.
Estate sales.
Yeah.
Really?
Estate sale.
Do you?
I find the coolest shit.
That's because you're willing to dig through it, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Because I'm not. It's even if I go into a bookstore and if it's not sorted correctly, I turn around and
You're
walk
like,
out.
I'm done.
Right. I like a thrift store that has all the shirts by color.
Look, you're asking a lot of your thrift stores.
Well,
do you also want the clothes washed or something?
There's a great Salvation Army store over in Pasadena that has like all the blue shirts are in one, all the blue sweaters are together and various kinds of blue. And you're like, they're by size and by color, by size and by color. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll get a red sweater. And then I could just go look at all the red sweaters, find a medium or a large and then go.
I love it.
Yeah.
They used to do that, cause I used to live in Boston for so long. I used to work in New Hampshire, so I'd go to all the New Hampshire ones. And they were not, like the New Hampshire ones, New Hampshire didn't have a lot of its shit together, but its thrift stores, they had that shit together. And so they had great stuff, but I think one day I wasn't finding anything, and they have pickers who go to the thrift stores to like specifically pick shit out at this point.
Like people have teams that they've hired?
Yeah. Or Goodwill even
does
does it. Goodwill will sell it on their website.
Oh.
And so they pick them out and then they sell them off to other people.
To pick the nicest of the stuff.
Yeah, the nice old vintage stuff.
Local comic Vance Sanders, Christmas dork. I should have him back on the show.
Yeah.
But he told me about a secret Salvation Army over in South Pass, Pasadena.
Yeah.
That is only sort of the cream of the crop. Because there's a Salvation Army factory sort of behind it. There's a giant Salvation Army store a block and a half away, and then there's a small store that has sort of the nicest stuff.
Oh.
And that's where we got this furniture 13 years ago.
It's a nice set.
It's a nice set. It didn't used to be distressed at all. It used to be all nice looking. But see the front of them? It's all Egyptian hieroglyphics in gold.
Oh my God, I love it.
It's hilarious. Yes. Our furniture is, and people come in, they're like, oh, I love how it's distressed. And Andy's like, I don't. It started getting distressed almost within a year of us buying it. I was like, yeah, but all 3 pieces, couch, giant chair, love seat, $1,000.
Jesus.
I never knew I wanted matched furniture until we had matched furniture. And I was like, oh, that really does bring a room together.
Yeah, you're like, I get it.
I get it.
I love antique furniture.
You have some?
So I used to work at the Antiques Roadshow.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I used to intern there.
Wait, I think I missed that. Holy crap. Okay.
Oh, that job was so fun. I didn't appreciate it at the time, but now I'm just like, oh, that was the coolest job. So they had a marathon a few months ago, and Josh Gondelman texted me and was like, did you work on Antiques Roadshow? And I was like, yep, you saw my name, didn't you? But,
yep.
They had, so you go.
Is it filmed? Is it produced out of Boston?
Yeah. At PBS.
Okay. WGBH.
WGBH.
There we go.
Boston. So, I would log all the tape, so I'd have to watch like hours and hours of footage and log it, and then I would see all the weird, creepy behind the scenes things that they would say. Because remember, they're just people, you guys.
Right, they're humans.
Just humans. And it was edited by what's his name? Guy who did Crash, Steve Cronenberg.
Okay.
It was edited by his like cousin.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, a Cronenberg edited
cronyism.
it. Which I was like, it
happens.
Oh, stop it.
It's that's what got him that
Cronenberganism.
I actually didn't go there, but now we're totally there.
So I would log all the tape. And then they had this bookshelf of like all these crazy like antique books, or like antique information books. But then they had this wall that was like all the crazy letters that they would get from people being like, I have this, whatever. And it was always,
I have the original Shroud of Turin.
Yeah, exactly.
Come.
And they had, like, it was always handwritten because it was all these old ladies and old men being like, I remember one was like, someone's like, I have this old antique couch, and it was literally shreds. It was like a wooden frame and just shreds. And she's like, what do you think this would be worth? And my favorite one was this guy, clearly not there, but he had a 1950s mannequin.
Okay.
That he wanted to get appraised. And just, I'll tell you.
Like a store mannequin?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is what he looked like. He was because he sent in a glamour shot.
Oh, of himself?
Him and the mannequin.
Oh, him and the mannequin.
Him and the mannequin.
Nice.
A glamour shot.
A boy and his mannequin.
Yep. He had a blonde bowl haircut.
Ooh, bowl.
Real blonde. And was wearing a 1980s, like, magenta and green tracksuit.
Oh, there you go.
Windbreaker.
Sweet.
Oh, and then he had all these pictures of this mannequin, and it was in a wheelchair, so clearly he wheels
the mannequin around?
The mannequin around.
The mannequin was not posed standing. The mannequin was posed seated.
It was seated in the glamour shot.
In the glamour shot, in a wheelchair.
In a wheelchair. So he takes this mannequin out and about. I mean, you don't just purchase a wheelchair to take a picture with your mannequin.
No, you don't.
So
he seemed to be standing, right?
He was like leaning over.
Okay, so he didn't need the wheelchair for anything.
But it was like a high school photo where in the back it had like the kind of blue clouds, like lasers.
Yeah,
it was. I kept
one of the greatest photos.
Somewhere.
One of the greatest photos you've ever seen.
It was. I kept a photo. I photocopied it.
What are the behind the scenes comments? Are people just going, "Well, you're out of your mind. This is a piece of garbage."
Like, I remember one Wes and Mark Wahlberg, not the Mark Wahlberg,
but different.
Mark Wahlberg. I was like logging their tape, and they started talking about like butt stuff, and I had to like go back and be like, "What? What did I just hear?"
Right.
Or they were being like just fucking, locker room talk. You get it.
Oh, I get it.
Just like being like gross dudes on a set, which you've been on a set.
So
whenever you're
be gross. Yeah.
They're just gross. So I just would like listen to them being like kind of funny, gross dudes and like say weird, gross things and then, and giggle to myself.
Which can be very funny.
Yes.
And can be not. The weird thing that people don't really understand about, dick jokes around women is that it's a learned skill. Yeah. And I suppose you have to learn it somewhere, but, literally there's a way to talk about your dick around women that I have been around men my entire life. First of all, none of my brothers would ever talk about their dicks in front of me on purpose, because they aren't creeps. But like, you know, male comics and just club owners and some guys were gross and some guys were funny. And there's a way to be funny. And I don't know how to explain it to you, except for that your heart has to be in the right place. Follow Doug Stanhope. Maybe Doug Stanhope. I always think of Doug Stanhope as a guy with dick jokes where his heart is in the right place.
Just the dick jokes with a heart of gold?
Yes.
It's so true. Like it wasn't offensive. I was like, oh my God. I was just like, this is great.
This is hilarious because these guys don't really remember that they're being taped. And they weren't plotting sexual assault.
No,
right? They were just riffing. Yeah, they were just riffing and talking about each other's balls, probably.
Yeah.
And whatever. You never understand. Really? Have you?
I mean, that's a 180 day would be like, talk about each other's balls and be like, let's go look at these model airplanes.
Oh, there's a pile of modern airplanes over there. Let's get over there.
Let's go put our balls on it. I hope no balls are put on anything in those statements.
Right. Do you ever see the Genealogy Roadshow? Did you ever see that follow-up?
No. What's that one?
Well, it's by the same people who do Antique Roadshow, but it's where the people, they follow their DNA. And
I would love to follow my DNA.
I followed my DNA.
Where'd it go?
It went to weird places that I did not know it was going. And granted, I was talking to my brother about it because he was going to do it. And it came back. It's pretty vague. And he goes, how much was this? And I said, $200. And he goes,
for the spit DNA thing?
Yeah. And he goes, well, you kind of got what you paid for, I guess, $200. And I was like, I know, but what would be the real amount of money? Like, I'm not saying I have that amount of money to put towards it. And he was like, I don't know, but it is, because I did it and my sister did it.
Where did you guys get different results?
We did. We did get different results.
Really?
Because every chromosome, of course, you get all the chromosomes, the options of all the chromosomes from your mom and all the chromosomes from your dad. We're not identical twins, so you can pull a variety of chromosomes from both of those gene pools, and she pulled a bunch of them from different, which is why we look different.
Yeah.
It's why we also look the same, and it's why we sound the same. I mean, but she has something like 18% Italian and 24% and 20% Middle Eastern. And I have like 25% Middle Eastern and 25% or 20% Irish. And then the rest of it's Whitey Whitersons from Northern Europe, and the rest of hers is Whitey Whitersons from Northern Europe.
Yeah. Did you have any Italian, or it was like?
I didn't have any Italian. I didn't have any Italian at all.
It just creeps in there.
It just she was like, oh, I guess. And granted, I mean, my father's family is entirely from Armenia.
Yeah.
And which was in Turkey, which is on the spice route to whatever. So they've been fucking everybody for thousands of years.
On the spice route.
On the spice route, you're getting laid, you're getting raped. Things are happening.
The laid part sounds better.
Doesn't it? The consensual
really
sex with a variety of different ancestries.
Right.
That's my family for you. We're available.
It was all consensual for thousands of years.
We're on board. We're available. It turns out, for doing it.
I want to do that spit test.
It's 23andMe and it's $200. That's what it's called. 23andme.com. And it's weird. It was weird.
I want to know. I think I get the gist. It's Italian
Andy did
and
it.
Russian.
Well, Andy did it. Well, that's the weird thing, is I thought there would be more Armenian, or at least Turkish.
Yeah.
And none of it. It was just genuine Mediterranean.
That's
just
great.
Loose. And Andy,
just loose Mediterranean,
just loose
DNA going around your blood.
Exactly. We can't narrow it down. Andy, 99% white.
Really?
The whitest guy in the world. And the other 1% was the Jewish thing.
Oh, there's just the tiny little Jew.
Yeah, the tiniest little, but where everybody in Northern Europe comes from, those 9 Jews.
Yeah.
That, I don't know, it was, I read an article.
Only 9? Well, apparently, the Cohen blood is a lot in Italy. There's a lot of Cohens, they went down to Italy, which is why Jews and Italians just look so similar.
And all Mediterraneans. You put an Armenian next to a Turk and you're like, best of luck.
Yeah.
Best of luck picking which one's which.
Figure it out.
You figure it out. Oh, you be going east, we going west. What are you doing with your bowing? And so it can't possibly matter.
Yeah, I love any history and stuff. I I love so much learning about my own history or like other people's history. Like, why are we the way we are?
I don't know. But before we get in, I'm talking to Jenny Zigrino, by the way, Zigrino.
Zigrino. Yep.
That's it, Jenny Zigrino. And it's at Jenny Zigrino everywhere.
Yep.
And you have a new album? Did you record it?
It's recorded. I just have to put it out.
It's just edited in art?
Yeah, it's like, well, the final thing. I'm doing
Do you have a label or?
Yeah, I'm doing it up on Stand-Up.
Stand-Up Records?
Yeah.
Oh, so you have to light a fire. I'm doing mine with Stand-Up Records in end of December.
Yeah, well, I mean, he almost died.
Yeah. Me too.
Did you almost die?
No. Every day I almost died.
So I did everything by myself. I was like dead set. I was like, I'm going to record.
You recorded it all?
I recorded all at Madison.
Mm-hmm. Oh, at the Madison Club?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so good. And I was like, I'm going to put this out by myself. I don't care. Paid for everything.
There you go.
And then I was like, oh, this is a lot of work. So then I just like licensed it out. We
will talk afterwards because I would like to ask various questions.
Yeah. So I mean, if it ever comes out at this point,
it'd
it's
be
just
great.
been like.
And when did you record it last? Did you headline last year?
Last year. Yeah, I recorded it last year.
2016 or 2015?
2015.
Okay.
So I had to go into re-editing because there was some stuff where I was like, well, that's not relevant anymore. So I just took a couple things out. And I guess like
it just needs to be mastered. Is that the whole thing?
It's all done. There was like I did new tracks for it. Like I cut the tracks up, so I have to remaster it. And
so you have to do remastering, and then just art, and then releasing. And
I'm gonna put it on record. But right now I'm just like, can we just get the fucking thing out? Like I need to trash this material.
You got to call the material. You got to get it on all the radio stations and iTunes and all that stuff, and then you can start a new one. And it's already been a year and a half. You got a whole new 20 already.
Yeah.
So you're good.
It's a great 20, but it's a new.
Oh, interesting.
It's a new 20. Again, having a couple of struggles with stand-up.
Yeah, some struggles. So I like, all right, for this last 15 minutes, kind of want to talk about the odd things that you're getting back into, like old dorkdoms that you're now you're into.
Yeah. So I did, like stand up itself was such an obsession. Mm-hmm. And then finally I get success and I was like, let's just coast.
Oh, sure. Sure. Why not?
Yeah. Let's not work hard anymore. But it's nice. Like now I have time to kind of rediscover shit. So I've been getting back into, playing guitar and music. So before stand up, when I
played guitar?
Yeah. I was like, I'm going to be I was like dead set on being a singer-songwriter. I was like, that's what I'm going to be. When I was 16, like I cut an EP, went to like a professional producer, got everything done, and then. Are
you good at guitar? I'm pretty good at
decent.
You're pretty good at
decent, and I can sing, so I can play and sing, which is all you need to.
Those are the two things that go together when you're to be a singer-songwriter.
Boom, out the door,
done and done.
Did you ever know this place in Hopkins called the Depot?
Nope.
Oh, it's like this little
Hopkins, Minnesota, you guys. Another hotbed.
Hotbed of comedy right there. So I used to go around and play, and then all my gear got stolen. So I think one of my friends in college stole my bass and bass guitar. And then my sister got in some trouble with her landlord who took my guitar and amp as collateral.
Oh, so you lost all your equipment in like a year and a half or something?
Almost like a year and a half, because I was doing it in college, and then...
So do you have a new guitar now? Did you get an acoustic or something?
I bought a new electric, and I bought an electric that came in a coffin case. So 16-year-old goth Jenny is like super pumped about this.
Psyched.
Oh, she is so happy about it. So I bought it just as like, I was like, I want to play again. So... I've been playing again, taking like online guitar lessons.
Okay. Like, just to sort of brush back up, right?
Yeah, like get my scales in order, kind of just...
I'd like to get my scales in order.
Get my scales.
Fair enough.
Such a weird phrasing. I don't know why I said that.
But everyone knows what you mean. You're like, I'd like to be able to play scales whenever I want to, and so I have to be reminded of exactly how they go.
Exactly. If someone's like, this is in the key of F, I'm going to be like, I can play an F here, I can play an F here, I can play an F wherever the fuck you want.
Yeah, what point of an F do you want? Exactly.
Do we want to do an F diminished, a minor, minor, a major, a sharp, a seventh, a blah, blah, blah.
I just learned about it. There's a board game, a musical board game that the dice are notes.
Oh.
And you can write, it can help you write music, but you have to be able to read and write music to play this board game.
Oh, well, there goes everyone.
Everyone. It's a board game for 11
Everybody.
people. Right? But that's fine because Kickstarter exists and those 11 people are like, I will give you $60 for that game. And now it's available on Amazon. So it's clearly, it worked.
My art history teacher in high school made like an arts history, board game for all of us to play. And he's like, I'm going to make this into a real thing. Mm-hmm. And we're all like, well, I don't know how many other people are really that into art history who aren't like.
Did you ever play Masterpiece? I think it was called Masterpiece.
That?
It was sort of a card board game where, you were given a famous painting and you were given a card that told you what it was worth. And it was a bidding game. And the card either told you that it was worth like $100,000, $20,000, or it was a forgery.
Really?
Yeah. And so it was like this weird bluffing game that was actually kind of, I remember playing it a couple of times and thinking, this is fascinating. And
find that.
You got to see all the art, which I never did as a child because I lived in a factory town in Wisconsin.
That's okay. You know, the best thing I ever found at a thrift store was, I was at a Savers in Connecticut.
Savers.
Right?
Right?
Oh, love that Savers. And, it was a print of Mary Queen of Scots. And I was like, this is just a nice print to have. Yeah. I like Mary Queen of Scots. Let's do it.
Do you? And Bloody Mary?
Love her. Love that bitch. So on the back of it, all this information about the print. And I was like, oh, that's great. Take it home. And like, I start kind of doing research and looking at it. And I realized like, I can see like the stippling in the print. Like this is a real print. And I do research and it was a real,
like screen
17, print? No, like a, like, with the metal print, like a plate.
Oh, wow.
And it was hand painted, from the 1790s. This artist, this, Italian printmaker did this whole series of
British monarchy?
Of British monarchs. Cause the original's face was destroyed.
Okay.
Because they hated her so much. So he like redid the face and made all these prints on this salmon colored paper. So I found for $10, this print that I did my Google and research. It's like worth 1,600 pounds.
What? It's worth like $3,000?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was just like hanging out at a Savers.
It's hanging out. Well, that's where you find the real.
Come to my house and steal my stuff.
Right. The other thing you got at those Savers were a great pair of shorts. Savers also just
really good shorts.
Let me tell you something about Savers. They also break things up into colors. They do. It's colors and sizes. You're like, oh, I'm going to get a pair of yellow shorts. Oh, good. You have a large?
Oh, it's in the large section of yellow shorts.
Exactly. And then you know. Now you know. Oh, these are shirts that all say stuff. Oh, good. They're together.
I wish they had Savers. They don't have Savers out here.
They don't. They don't. They don't even have a rag stock. I love a rag stock.
That's my friend used to work at the big one on 7th in Minneapolis.
Oh, yeah?
Like where they actually had the giant 1-ton cubes of rags.
In 1984, I went to the original rag stock on State Street in Madison, where I went to college. And
I went there.
You went to Madison?
Well, yeah, I just started recording my album.
No. That's where.
I didn't go there for college.
Oh,
No. I've just been to that rag
Where'd you go to college?
Massachusetts College of Art.
Oh, there you go. Oh, nice. Do you have an art degree?
I do. Well, it's a BFA film.
Oh, interesting.
But I was going to be a comic book artist.
Oh, do you still read comics?
I just read not great comics. I read bad ones, and then I liked telling stories. And I liked drawing. So
those two things.
Yeah. But I wasn't like a comic book nerd. Like
you should get back into web comics. That'll blow you up.
What's the one I used to read? That Penny Arcade all the time.
Yeah. Penny Arcade. That was fun. I have the Fruit Fucker t-shirt, which is a story of a juicer and an orange, which I always think is consensual. And Andy is like, no. And I said, well, they were made for each other. He goes, that orange does not wish to be fucked. And,
are we sure?
Are you sure? Because I think they were made for each other.
Yes. Juicer, orange.
Orange, juicer. Yes. Fruit
Andy's
fucker.
2-piecing. All right.
Andy has got his heart in the right place. And that's all he needs. That's why his dick jokes are hilarious.
They're gilded dick jokes, just covered in gold.
I gotta go. Pardon me. Let me spend a little time alone.
Sorry, I got off topic. Al Pacino, another big obsession.
Why? Why Al Pacino?
Don't know. I just remember folding laundry at like 14, and the TV was on, and Dog Day Afternoon came on, and I was like, that's it.
What year is that, Dog Day Afternoon?
Came out in 1970. Shit. 74?
Dog Day Afternoon is an early 70s cop movie? Is that what it is?
No, it's a bank robbing movie. So Sonny robs a bank, and it turns out but it's also a huge thing in for transgender and trans rights. So it talks about he robs his bank, then it comes out that he married a man who's trying to be a woman, and then so then all of these like LGBT people come out, and they're the ones shouting out of the closet and into the streets. So then it like becomes this whole thing.
Dog Day Afternoon came up with that slogan?
Well, they're just shouting it. I don't think they can't. Yeah, they're just there doing it.
It could have been them. Could have been someone else. We don't know.
We don't know.
It's does it end all right? Spoiler alert. No, of course it doesn't.
It's a true story.
It's a true story, which means everyone is murdered. and of course the Hays Code.
Yeah.
So, but wow. Because, here's what I know about Al Pacino.
Okay, I'm so excited.
Beverly D'Angelo.
Yes. Yes!
She was on the program on the Dork Forest. And she's starting a podcast with Moon Zappa. It's called Moon Zappa and Beverly D'Angelo Thinking and Laughing.
Oh my God.
I was like, could you make it a little bit longer? She was like, we'll call it anything. And I was like, how about
Thinking and Laughing?
How about Valley Girl Vacation? How about that? Why don't you just call it that? And she was like, I would call it that. Why don't we add that to the bottom? I was like, stop talking. And
add it to the bottom.
But Beverly D'Angelo is hilarious.
Yes.
And she told the story, I think, in the Dork Forest about how, because she didn't know that she was essentially in an open marriage with Al Pacino.
But she didn't know it was open.
Oh, wait, with the Italian Duke that she was married to. She
was married to an Italian Duke before Pacino?
Before Pacino. She was married to him for 15 years. He lived in Rome. She lived here, and they would date other people. And I was like, you were in an open marriage with an Italian Duke? And she said, I guess that is an open marriage. And I was like, yeah, if you're dating other people. And she goes, yeah, all I know is that when I would go out with these guys and we'd end up, getting together, I would tell them I was married, and they were like, whew, thank God. What? And they were psyched. And then when I told Al Pacino that I was married, he was like, what? Well, you have to get divorced if we're going to go out. And I was like, well, that makes me like Al Pacino a lot more. And she just shook her head off. Like there's a dead silence, as you can hear in the Dork Forest with her, because she goes, no. She didn't say it out loud, but she's like, he's not that great. I was like, really? 15 years together? Because they have 15-year-olds.
Yeah.
They have twins. Yeah. And
I've done my research.
Yes.
Done my Pacino research.
And, but get this. So she calls the Duke and says, I need to get divorced because there's this guy who wants to go out with me, but he won't go out with me if I'm married. And the Duke's like, oh, why? What does he do? And she said, well, he's an actor. And Beverly goes, yeah, he's an actor. And the Duke goes, an actor? No, you're not going to date an actor. Which actor? And she said, his name's Al Pacino. And he goes, Al Pacino? I'll divorce you for Al Pacino. Hilariously. The guy is like, I will divorce you. Whatever Al Pacino wants, Al Pacino gets.
That is so great. Is she still talking to the Duke?
Yeah, they're good friends. Yeah, they're good friends.
So great.
Yeah.
That's the relationship I want. Not the open part, but just like if I was like, hey, look, famous person over here wants to fuck. And they'd be like, yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
We'll get divorced.
We'll take a break.
We'll take a good break.
We'll take a break. You do whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of open relationships just for me. I'm a fan of closed relationships. And then if you're having trouble keeping it closed, pipe up. That's my thing. I know it's scary, but if you're sad with what's happening in front of you, just go, hey, this dude's hitting on me. I may have to fuck off. And you're like, well, then fuck off.
Yeah.
Don't drag everybody down with you with a pile of lies. It sounds like a terrible idea.
God. I didn't just get out of one. I've been like out of one, but I was in one, and it was just, for me, it was just competition all the time. Like, who am I going to fuck this weekend? oh, you're out with your girls? So I got fucking pocket full of dudes back home. Let's just, but it was just such a mess. It's so many lies.
Draining.
So draining because you're like, in your head, you're like, I'm above jealousy. I'm a modern day woman. I get it. But really, you're just like, I just want someone to love only me.
Right.
That's all you want.
Right, exactly. We'll figure it out. What do you want to turn around? You want to get out chutes and ladders, some dice? What do you need? And so let's make it in.
I know for some people it works, and I don't want to diss it too much because I have, good friends
I know
who do
people
it.
who do it. Yeah.
But fuck that.
But it is not for me. That is what I say to that. Everybody's got their own dorkdom. You're some kind of bigamist or polygamist or whatever it's called.
Dorkdom?
If that's your dorkdom, then as long as it's all consensual, come talk to me about it.
I'm obsessed with fucking other people. It is
in front of
crazy.
you. That's the saddest part. I need you to be in the room when I'm fucking someone else. That actually is not okay. That's possibly where it all comes from. My sadness. Jenny Zigrino, thank you so much.
Thank you.
This was super fun. And I got to have you back on because I have more questions about historical costuming.
Sure. Oh, can I plug my movie?
Yeah, plug your movie.
I'm in Bad Santa 2. Go see it.
Bad Santa 2. You're in it.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Me and the BBTs.
The what one was? BB? What?
BBTs. Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh, Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm in the part of show business that doesn't know anybody. So, Jenny Zigrino, you guys. Rangers, you know the rules out there. More important than ever. Take care of each other.
My hat. They're dancing around my hat. My hat, my hat, my hat. Well, what do you think of that? If it looks like a Mexican hat dance and it sounds like a Mexican hat dance, it's most likely a Mexican hat dance. So take off your hat and let's dance.
Yay! Oh my God. Why don't we just call that as the end of the show?